Hi there, welcome to another plein air painting adventure. This time I've come down to St Anthony-in-Meneage and I'm looking across to St Anthony Head over there, and this is a great fantastic open view for me to paint of the Foul River, where the river starts basically from the open sea over there. Hopefully this should be a bit more simple, this painting, compared to the last landscape I did, which was very complicated. So I've got a 60 by 40 panel today, wooden panel. There was a traffic jam on the way here while I was waiting. I put a ground colour on in the car. It's like an Indian red and that's dried already now, so okay, I better get going because quite keen to get on with this one, and it's quite warm. Right, here we go. Let's put something in just to get that in place. So that's about halfway, so we want it to be about here. Let's just run that right across there for a minute. I'm going to include that little bit there just to give you something there. Let's get this sky in place. A bit hazier over there. We need to find a sort of a hazy-ish colour, so we want a hazy-ish sort of grey to go drop behind here. And I can see those clouds on the top. We've got manganese blue, cobalt blue, lemon yellow, and the white. Nothing too different. Nothing out of the ordinary, same as last time. I don't plan to do too much on the top of this, so I can afford to paint it with medium rather than turps. And also I'm trying to paint quite quickly because I know that the sun is going to make its way around any minute now to start streaking across the canvas, because I've got some trees by the side of me, so there'll be shadows. I'm just covering all this now, just get something on there, and then this will be nice and dry to paint on top of. And get some water in now. Let's add a bit of raw sienna into that manganese blue a minute and see what that gives us. Get some sort of green on here. And just take the edge off the green with a bit of violet, I think. So we want that. Let's just make that a bit less. This is still very absorbent. I don't make this too wet and slippy, that's a problem. We've got a manganese blue, raw sienna, and the magenta in there. Let's put something nice and deep down here. It goes bluer as it goes further over. Don't get too dark. Now that might work. Let's try that. That's quite nice actually. Look at that. That's just a stroke of luck. Quite a bit of magenta gone in there, and some raw sienna and the manganese blue. And as luck would have it, it's just the right colour. So the raw sienna's doing a lovely job, knocking that back enough. I like to remix the colour quite regularly, rather than make up a massive pile of one colour. I like to go back in and remix like I'm doing it now. And that way it just makes the painting a bit more lively, I find. Let's just put some of these currents coming out this way like this, some hints of these. To show you what I've done a bit closer, you can see the quite thin paint gone over that Indian red ground colour, and I've lightened the sky as it's come down, ready to put some clouds on there. Just a little hint of where the headland is at the moment, and there's the water that you can see that I've worked on just roughly and very thinly so far. Quick look at the palette just to show you it's the same colours as usual. I'll put those in the description. You can see what I'm working against, the shadow there, look, just hint over there in the corner, but mixing areas quite bright, and the board is in the shade. Great view, and there's somebody fishing out there, just collecting his crab pots. Right, better get on. I want to get this headland in, and then I can bring the sky down. Let's have a raw umber, ultramarine blue, over here. So that's the furthest bit, sort of goes around St Anthony Head there. Right, let's get that shadow in on there and place this in the right place then. Let's drop this in here, like this. And run that across the top. Got some houses in here, St Mawes, and that goes across, and we've got some houses there. So we need to bring this up. Do the same here, raise this up. The goldfinches behind me. Something like that. The interesting thing over there is you can actually see the St Austell China clay mountains as well. Over here, so I've got to put those in. Quick update, you can see how the sun has come across now, streaking the board, so I'm going to have to probably change position, but there you can see where I've just put in those buildings. We've got this is the castle there, and this is St Mawes, and there's the lighthouse, that's St Anthony Head. We'll put those in, and yeah, better get some more work done on the water. Right, there we go. Just going to get a bit more paint on this water. Let's just get some of these areas in on that far bit of land there, St Anthony Head. Right, now I can actually see what I'm doing there. Yes, I think I probably will work on this in the studio, and then I can add in the boat easier when it's all dry up there. So we want that drifts off over there then, you see, and we've got that other bit there which needs to be greyed off. That bit of land then sort of sits in here. What we can do actually, we're going to get these clouds in. That's what we're going to do before we go. Right, let's have a bit of fun with these clouds. See, these run across like this. And they get fainter as they go across there. They're at their brightest and warmest here, just in there. We can mix them with what's underneath and put one up there as well, like that. You can see my breath. warm in the sun, but cool in the shade. And the clouds, you see, as they get close to the horizon, get smaller and greyer. They would be bigger up here, you see, because they'll be closer at the top, closer to us. So you can blend that in. I always find it's best to do these clouds on the top of a wet, on the wet, so wet into wet. You can blend easier then. Let's just now just put some of these more blue-grey clouds. Try and get these in. So we've got to just find the right colour and tone. So we've got an ultramarine blue, there's an Indian red, and there's I've just added a bit of raw umber into that. Not too much of this, but a few hints. And that's nice. That's just drifting off over there. You give me an idea where the boat is. That's actually quite yellow. The cabin area of that boat, it just overlaps here. Something like that. And you've got this nice red which runs across like that. Let's just get that red put back in again. That just gives us an idea of where that boat is. That wants to go across like this. These are these hints at these currents. There's a nice one that swings down like this, which is quite nice. Right, well, that's the end of this outdoor painting session. All's on board, and my visitors over there are making themselves heard. Yeah, so not bad. I'm quite happy with that. Carry on with that in the studio, give it a chance to dry, give it some life and a bit of lift really, because it's quite a flat scene. I need to get some depth in there. And I think that'll be easier once this has dried, and I'll have a chance to sort of layer up a bit more with the paint, so this underpainting can come through and interact with what I put on top afterwards. So we'll see how we get on in the studio with that. Yeah, really good fun, great spot, and ideal for my project because that's where the Foul River starts. So yeah, brilliant. Okay, see you in the studio. So this is what we came back with from our outdoor painting session. You can see the grain coming through a little bit on the plywood, and you can see all the bits of mud and stones and bits and pieces from the outdoor session. I've left them on there just to show you. So that's what we've come back with, and that's what it looks like. Quite thin paint, so I've got to thicken that up. There's a quick look at my palette for today for the studio. We've got a titanium white, lemon yellow, there's a bit cadmium yellow. This is a Winsor Red, it's quite bright. Alizarin crimson, Indian red, raw sienna, raw umber, violet, ultramarine blue, cobalt blue, manganese blue, ivory black. I use all sorts of manufacturers. I find a colour I like by a manufacturer and I tend to stick with it. We've got Winsor & Newton, Michael Harding, Jackson's home brand. And I've also got some nice colours here which I might use during the painting by Wallace Seymour. These are really nice, really good selection of blues there, so I might be using some of those as well. Just going to dip into my medium, dry off on a rag. Cobalt, manganese, titanium white. Mix up something that's a bit bright, add a bit more of the medium, and that's a lot brighter. I'll just put that on and have a look, see what it looks like. Let's adjust that colour slightly now. Bring that across, see we'll brighten up. See this on the outdoor painting, you're in that bright sunlight, so it affects what you see, so the colours often go a bit duller, you see. Often they need a bit of a lift when you come back inside. If you're adding a bit of yellow into these blues to get this colour I've got here, I've just offset it a little bit by adding a bit of cool red generally to stop it being quite so green then. So I don't need to go over where the clouds are, I want to keep those in place. I'm just painting these in quite rough. Drag that across there a little bit. For the clouds, we've got the little bit of lemon yellow. I'm going to use that Winsor Red look, quite like that. I'm going to bring a bit of white in. Let's see what that does. Drag a couple of these nice brighter colours out lightly over the top. We're painting onto the wet sky colour now, so we can really have a good play. I love this part of it. I'm going to drag that across there as well, I quite like that. And see where a nice bit of red's come through there. That's quite nice. So I'm just gently laying the paint on the top. And soften, I like to soften the bottoms of the clouds. So something like that. And then we'll just add some sort of violety type shadows into there. Let's see what we've got. Indian red, cobalt blue and a bit of lemon yellow. Let's see what this does. That's better. Drop that into there, see what that does. Take this one across a bit further. Just to link that together so that's like one bigger cloud then. We're moving into the sea now. We've mixed up a manganese blue, a bit of ultramarine, some lemon yellow, a bit of alizarin crimson and white. This should help that area here stand out more then, because it was a bit lost. I don't need to do too much to this because I quite like it. I'm using the flat rosemary brush. And let's just drag that across here. So we're working on to dry paint now. Here's our little boat. Well, it's a little boat because it's in the distance, but it's actually quite a big boat. That's better. Right, we need to get into this area now. A bit of cobalt with that raw sienna. And now it's just a case of having a bit of fun with this water for a minute. There's a bit of medium in the paint. That's better. Let's get some of that down here. Another colour just mixed up here. And go up a little bit into there. You add a little bit of medium to the paint, it tends to sit, you can sit it better on the top of the wet paint then, because you don't have to push it in so much. That's better. Look at that depth. Lovely colour. Just going to drop a few hints of these currents, these sort of lighter patches in the water. Are quite random. Just lighten that area over there a little bit. Just roll the brush around, create some sort of texture and a bit of light on that water. Just run that across like that. Right, here I'm just altering this water. I didn't really like it much. I don't want to lose all this nice underpainting, so I'm just trying to use what we've got, just dragging the wet paint across an already wet surface. tricky, this part of a painting. You don't want to sort of ruin everything you've done, but if you don't take a chance to improve it and make it better, you'll never know if you could have got a better painting out of it. Quite happy with everything so far. Not sure about this at the moment. I may change that at some later date, but for now, surface is really wet. Can't put anything more on there. It's quite thick, the paint, so we're going to leave that at that, and we're going to just finish off this session now with the boat. Okay, let's try this blue, just a slightly darker back, like that. So this is the rigger now to help us with this. It's something like that. I'm going to leave that. There's actually a blue stripe that runs through there, but I quite like it as it is. Mind you. Not so sure about that now. I preferred it with the red. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that one. We'll call that finished. That is St Anthony Head over there. There is St Anthony Lighthouse. So St Anthony Head, viewed from St Anthony-in-Meneage, which is on the Lizard. So looking across the water, and that's the Foul River, Carrick Roads. The Foul River runs off down there. Got the China Clay Mountains up here, St Maur's, and that goes up to St Just. And a red boat for good measure. Right, thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you enjoyed what you saw and you want to help the channel grow a bit more, and give it a thumbs up, and hit the bell as well for notifications when the next video comes out. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.